Hey, what's going on, everybody? For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to Martin's Family Kitchen. For those of you who are returning guests, welcome back. What we're doing on the channel today is something just a little bit different, and what we're going to do here is we're going to find a recipe that's going viral on the internet. We're going to give it a test. We're going to make the recipe, figure out if it's actually worth making or not. I'll make it, I'll test it, I'll try it, and I'll let you know if it's worth taking your time to make this recipe. What we have for you today is the viral crab Rangoon dip. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, first things first. The first thing we're gonna do before we get into the recipe is we're gonna go ahead and fire up some homemade wonton chips. Super simple. Went to Walmart, got myself some wonton wrappers, cut them in little triangles here, super simple. We're just gonna go ahead and throw them in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and toss some salt on these. We have some pink Himalayan salt here, just to give it a little added flavor. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until you can tell they're getting golden brown and a little bit crispy. So we'll get those in, and then we'll get right into the recipe. All right, while we have our chips cooking in the oven at 350 degrees for about 5 to 7 minutes, let's go ahead and get this dip fired up here. The first things first we're going to add in is 12 ounces of lump crab meat. Next thing we have here is 8 ounces of cream cheese. After that, we have a mixture. So what we have in this mixture here is 1.5 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1.5 teaspoons of Siracha sauce, and we have 2 garlic cloves that I have minced. And last but not least, we have a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. So we're gonna go ahead and get that in there as well. Okay. Next, we have 1/3 cup of sour cream that we're gonna go ahead and get in here as well. And last but not least, we have a cup of mozzarella cheese. This recipe calls for 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. The first cup is going to go into your dip mixture, and the last 1/2 cup is going to be sprinkled on top to kind of be a finishing layer for your dip. So let's go ahead and get that added in here. We're going to go ahead and mix everything up with our mixer. Then we'll go ahead and get it in the baking dish, and we'll toss it in the oven. Okay, it's been 7 minutes. Our chips are done, and look at these. These are the perfect golden brown. Some of them got a little bit dark, but none of them are burnt. And as you can see, perfect crisp. It's gonna go really well with that dip. And whenever you're making these wonton wraps feel very flimsy whenever you're cutting them apart and placing them on your cookie sheet. But whenever they're done, they really firm up more than you think they would. So they're going to be perfect for this dip. Last but not least, before we throw this in the oven, we're going to top it off with some mozzarella cheese. Let's go ahead and get a nice little layer of that on the very top here. And we're going to bake this dip at 350 degrees, so you don't have to change your setting on your oven at all. So we're going to go ahead and bake this at 350 degrees. And we're just going to bake this until the top starts to get a little bit brown and you see a little bit of bubbling on the side. There's really no specific time that I noticed, so we're just going to kind of go by looks. So I'm going to kind of keep my eye on the time so I can give you guys an idea of how long it might take, but I'm just going to go by the look of things and see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get this thrown in. We'll check back. All right, guys, we're back. We finally got the dip out of the oven. It's been approximately 20 minutes. This dip could have probably went another 5 minutes. As you can see here, it's a little hot, starting to get golden brown on the outside, starting to bubble up a little bit. I'm just too impatient to let it cook any longer. But this could go anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees. Like I said, I was just a little too impatient. So let's go ahead and give this a shot here. It's nice and creamy. First initial thought, the overall taste of this and the novelty of this being a crab rangoon dip, it does hit the mark. It has a little bit of a different texture. The crab rangoon texture has more of like a paste-like filling, where this is more of like a smooth, creamy consistency. It is pleasant though. I think if I had to add anything at all, I'd possibly add just a pinch of salt to this recipe. It's not bland by any means. And I think if you serve this at any party or get together, or to any family members that enjoy Chinese or like crab rangoons, I think they're gonna enjoy it as well. Overall, I'd say this is a good recipe. I would make it again. If I had family members who like Chinese, which I do, I would take this over and serve this to them. I think it's good enough to have it a get together or things like that. All in all, guys, thanks for stopping by today on the channel. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you would, comment down below maybe a recipe that you found online that maybe you're not so sure if you want to try it. Send it on over to me. I'll try it, I'll make it, I'll review it for you guys. I'll do a video on it. So yeah, thanks for stopping by.